hopefully that may be, I'm never sure sometimes if it's because I haven't got my glasses on. So I'm hoping that's a little bit better. I'm actually going to come a little bit closer as well this morning. So you're going to come into sit, and as you're coming into sit, feel that you can come down more and more onto the base, yeah? So you can really find that contact down through the ground. And then you're going to come to your little toe side of the foot. Again, like we normally do, going down into the little toe side of the foot and coming up through the spine. So you have this sense of the spine wanting to grow up towards the ceiling, yeah? So why are we doing that? The base, the tailbone, is our root, is our security. The crown gives us the freedom to think, to fly, not necessarily the head stuff, but of course it comes in like the head stuff. So for now, close the eyes, bring your awareness to the breath, breathing in and breathing out. Feel the breath come in through the nostrils, feel the coolness of the breath, and then as you breathe out through the nostrils, feel the warmth of the breath, yeah? Breathing in and breathing out. I'm just going to check that that's all good there, yeah? So you're breathing in, you're feeling the warmth as the breath goes out, yeah? Good. And then from here, can you send your ears out and just notice any sounds that are around you? Okay, so you might hear rain, you might hear next door's washing machine, anything, it could be absolutely anything. Listen to that sound and imagine you've heard it for the first time, so it has no connotations, yeah? And then come back to the breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. So in practicing mindfulness, we're thinking about how we use the senses, so how we might use sight, touch, sound, all of those things. You felt the breath as well as breathing. You heard the sounds, yeah? So you could use those as anchors, and that's what mindfulness is about, is bringing the mind into the body, yeah? So we don't get what I call the brain farts coming in, yeah? These sort of silly, random, not silly thoughts, but random thoughts that sometimes come in, yeah? So this is why we want to keep coming back to the body in the practice. So from here now, let's start moving. Let's bring the fingertips out to the side. Let the pads rest onto the ground. Come up through the crown of the head. Keep coming back to the body this morning. So if the mind wants to wander off, yeah, on what you've got to do after this, or what you've got to do tomorrow, or what you've got to do Monday, bring it back to the body. Yeah, bring it back to the body. Take a breath in, come up through the arm, bend into the left elbow. Let the right lower leg release down as much as it comfortably can to the ground, and then rotate away through the heel of the hand. Breathing in and breathing out. So you're not overdoing, you're coming in, you're thinking elbow, rib, hip. Yeah, breathing in and breathing out. And then come up and over. Come up with the left arm, bend into the right elbow, over you come, breathing in and breathing out. Come back to how you're using the feet, yeah? Rotate through the lower arm, go away through the heel of the hand, and again, rib, armpit, elbow. Breathing in and breathing out. And then we're going to do that as a fluid movement, yeah? So I want you to think of your arms as seesaws now, yeah? So the shoulder girdle works together. Now you can do this as fast or as slow. I'm probably going a little bit faster than I need to actually. But that's probably because I've had a really ultra powered coffee this morning. So coming up and over, and I still want to make that contact from my elbow into the middle of the ribs because that's like my wingspan, yeah? Breathing in and breathing out. Good, now come back to the center, bring both arms up, yeah, but keep that softness there. So you're not gonna lift up, see how my shoulders have gone up round by my ears. You're gonna release down. So there's a little bit of space between the earlobes and the shoulders. Now come forward with the spine, bring the hands down onto the ground. Don't need to come all the way forward. Think pubis bone to belly, the length there, belly to breastbone to nose. They're like points, like you were doing dot to dot, yeah? And you want to keep those in line as much as you can, so you don't round the spine. When the spine's rounded, it gets really hard to breathe, yeah? Breathing in and breathing out. Good, now back you come. Bring the hands together in Namaste, and you're going to rotate around. So now you're thinking that point of the breastbone is coming around towards the knee, okay? So now that shoulder girdle and the ribs are simply moving, twisting, rotating, whatever words resonate with you. So you've got that little movement from side to side. Now go out a little bit more through the elbows and feel that you could rest the shoulder blades back into the spine. That's going to bring you more into the tip of the shoulder joint. Might not feel as comfortable. So release down, yeah? Some of us, it will feel that it'll broaden, but if we're a little bit tighter in the shoulders, it might not feel very nice, yeah? So you've got to really acknowledge how it feels in your body. Come back to the center. Come over the knees, let's come into all fours. So you can come over the knees or you can just bring yourself into all fours. From all fours, have a little cat pat, yeah? Think about how you're using your hands and your arms. If you fall over, you brace yourself and then you lock your joint, yeah? So this is firm. If you're on the ground, yeah, there should be a little tiny softness in the elbow. You want to think of the joints as the eyes, yeah? You're not going to over-open the eye and stare. You've got that little bit of softness there. Now think about the tailbone going down between the knees and the spine rounding and just letting the head go. Breathing in and breathing out. So there's a softness there, but there's still, you know, quite a strong movement. And now come forward with the chest, forward with the heart. So when you're coming into cat pose, be really mindful that you're not pushing in the arms, yeah? The spine rests on the limbs and moves from the tailbone. So everything's still connected, but the spine's moving over the arms and the legs. Once more into cat pose. Good. Now come back into your neutral spine. Curl your toes under, bring your bottom back to the heels. Feel that the arm can come off of the wrist and the hand. Yeah, so it's light through the wrist, up with the knees, down through the heels, bring you into dog pose, yeah? If you come up and you think, whoa, you know, you can come back down, go back into it. You don't need to stay in the poses, perhaps as long as I might be, or you know, as long as you think you need to be. You can come in and out of it, yeah? Breathing in, breathing out, come back into it again, yeah? You might want to move in the pose, so it doesn't feel so static. Come in, come out of it, especially when you're doing the first couple of the day. Come back into child's pose. Breathing in, breathing out. So you've got, you know, sort of a moment or so just to play in dog pose, just to feel, okay, how does it feel if I push back through the knees? See that there? Yeah? How does it feel if I relax the knees and I lengthen up through the tail? That gives me more space in the spine, all of those things. Bend the knees, come back into child's pose. So just really to remind us of the basics, it's the first lesson back after New Year's. Breathing in and breathing out. Come up into all fours again, come forward with the right foot. Bring the fingertips more forward, come forward with the left foot. So you're going to come into your forward bend, do Tanasana. And again, feel free to relax the knees. When we're relaxing the knees now, we don't want that kind of sort of hovering over. Yeah, so bring the spine forward, then you'll avoid that. Yeah, when you hover back, you're closing the hip, you're making the hip feel tight. So come forward, yeah, breathing in and breathing out. Take a breath in, up you come through the spine. Feel you can bring the spine forward, so you're keeping the space on top of the hips and come up through the arms. Bring the hands together, in Namaste. Let's find the hamstrings a little bit more. So take a little step back with the left foot. Take a breath in. So you want to come back to this elbow, rib, elbow, armpit, rib. Yeah, so you get some space up through there. Come forward with the spine. Bring the hands onto the sacrum. Really focus on the pelvis rolling over the thighs rather than moving from the waist. So you get that nice movement forward. Yeah. And then let it come perhaps down a little bit more today. How does it feel? Can you come back into the heels? Yeah. Forward through the spine, breathing in and breathing out. Good. Now come up. As you're coming up, go down into the feet. The knees, there's still that gentleness in the knees. Lift up through the spine. Good. Come forward. Step back with the right foot now. Exactly the same movement. Come up through the arms. Keep the elbows soft. So you get this lift up through here, and then the spine becomes lighter to move because there's more space in it. Yeah. Breathe out. Come over the knees, over the thighs with the pelvis. Bring the hands onto the sacrum. Again, think about your knees, that they're not pushed back. How are you in the feet? Keep coming forward through the breastbone. Come underneath the breastbone. Feel you can lift it forward. That's going to bring you straight back into the sacrum, yeah? Breathing in and breathing out. Good. Now let the breath come in and the arms come up. So Tanasana brings the hands together. Really good, strengthening ankles, knees, lengthening hamstrings, awakening the spine. So we're starting Surya Namaskar. Let the breath come in and the arms come up. Notice how your glutes are. Is there any squeezing or tension in the glutes? Can you release them? Breathe out, fold forward. Yeah. Bring the fingertips onto the ground, relax the knees. We're going to go for a shortened version of sun salutation first. Step back with the left foot. Okay, bring the left knee down to the ground, breath comes in, up you come through the spine, but you're going down into that right foot to do that. Fold forward, bring the hands down onto the ground, step back into dog pose, breathe. In your dog pose, on the ball of the foot, rather than high up on the toes, yeah? Bend the knees, come back into child's pose, rest. Relax the elbows. Feel that you can breathe in the back of the ribs. So that helps to open the back of the body a little bit more. Go forward through the hands. Come up into half plank pose. Yeah. And rotate the feet. Now watch the knees here and watch the pelvis. Yeah. Don't let it collapse. Again, you're coming back to a dot to dot. Knees, pelvis, shoulder girdle. Yeah. Come back into child's pose now. Rest back. Think about the tail going down between the heels. Doesn't matter if the asana is up in the air. Doesn't matter at all. Breathing in and breathing out. You're thinking of the movement through the tailbone to give you that lovely roundedness through the spine. Come up into all fours, come forward with the left foot, let the breath come in, firm and down into that left foot to bring you up, because that's going to keep space in the hip socket. Breathe out, fold forward. Come into forward bend, lift up as you come forward. Take a breath in, come up through the spine. Bring the hands together in Namaste. Breath comes in, the arms come up. Breathe out and fold. Hands onto the ground, step back with the right foot. Right knee down, breath in, up you come through the spine. Breathe out, fold forward, come back into dog pose. On the balls of the feet, not the toe joints. Bend the knees, back into child's pose. Think about the shape of the spine here. The shape, of the child when it's born, it has that rounded spine, yeah, because it hasn't moved yet. Slide the hands forward, gently over the kneecaps, and make the spine as light as possible. Keep bringing it forward and over you come, yeah. Little rotation through the feet, helps to wake the feet up. Now you're going to come back into child's pose. breathe. Relax here. And again, can you let the tail go down between the heels? That's the aim, yeah? And the tail can move down between the heels regardless of where the bottom is in the air. Come up into all fours, come forward with the right foot. Let the breath come in, stand firm into the feet, up through the spine. Breathe out and fold. Come into forward bend. Breath comes in and up you come. Bring the hands together in Namaste. You're going to come back into Tanasana now. Step back with the left foot. Breath comes in, the arms come up. Breathe out. Over you come. Strong into the feet, hands onto the sacrum. Go forward through the spine. Big toe joint, little toe joint, inner heel, outer heel. Thigh comes straight up into the hip, breathing in and breathing out. Then come to the back foot, do the same. Big toe joint, little toe joint, inner heel, outer heel. Breath comes in, up you come through the spine. Bring the hands together in Namaste. You're nice and rooted in the front foot. So you're going to come up with the left knee. Bring the foot onto the shin. Open out into tree pose. Breathe. If the balance is a bit wibbly wobbly, big toe on the ground. If not, here you are. Breathing in, breathing out. Feel that the crown of the head can extend up and up and up. So everything's growing up. Breathing in and breathing out. Good, now bring the foot down to the ground. So you feel really rooted and light on this side. Take a step back with the right foot. Let the breath come in and the arms come up. Breathe out, fold forward. Pelvis is rolling over the thighs. Bring the hands onto the sacrum. Keep coming forward, yeah? So you've got that lightness. It's like when you make space in the spine, it's like you pumped your tyres up because you've got more space, you've got more air in there, and everything should begin to feel a little bit lighter. Up you come through the spine. Bring the hands together. Come up with the right knee. Foot comes onto the shin. Open out through the hip socket. Big toe can go onto the ground or not, it can come onto the shin. Breathing in, breathing out. Go up through the crown, up and up and up. Breathe. Bring the foot down to the ground. Sun salutation. Breath comes in, the arms come up. Breathe out, fold forward. We're going to go for the longer version. Hands onto the shins and extend. Breathe out, release. Step back with the left foot. Come into lunge pose. Stay in lunge pose for a moment. Come straight up through the heel. The top of the ball of the foot will be on the ground. I want you to have that back foot so you're standing on the wall behind you. So there's a sense of movement in the back leg. Bring the knee down. Round the spine, start standing into that front foot, moves the thigh back into the hip, up through the chest, up through the heart. Feel you're lifting the ribs off of the pelvis. Hands come forward. Step back into dog pose. If you feel you want to bring the leg up into three-legged dog, then feel free to. Bring the foot down if you've done that. Again, make sure you're on the balls of the foot. It'll feel very different in the knees. Bend the knees, come back into child's pose. Breathe. Now you're going to slide the hands forward. Let the chest come down towards the ground. Now round the spine into cat pose. Let the hands slide back a little bit if they wanted to. Yeah, come forward through the spine. We always kind of think, I've got to get the pelvis down, but think about bringing it forward. Think about how the snake moves. Yeah, doesn't always rear up. It goes forward as well. Curl the toes under, really curl them under so you can roll over the ball of the foot. Come to the front of the pelvis, feel that you could lift the front of the pelvis upwards. Breathing in and breathing out. There's still a softness in the knee, but the spine can really extend. Bend the knees, come down into all fours. Now round the spine into cat pose, come back into child's pose. So you've got a little bit more length into the lumbar. Breathing in, breathing out, release the spine. Come up into all fours, come forward with the left foot, curl the right toe under, go back through the heel and up through the heel. Forward through the spine, breathing in and breathing out. Bring the knee down, round the spine, bring the arms forward. Start going down through the tail, lift up through the chest, down into the foot, out you come. Hands come forward, come into forward bend. Hands on the shins and extend. Breathe out, fold. As you fold, keep that sense of space in the front of the pelvis, yeah? It's like you want to imagine you've got one of those soft footballs there, try and keep a bit of space in there. Let the breath come in and up you come through the spine. Hands come together in Namaste. Breathe in, up you come. Breathe out, release forward. Okay, stay in Tanasana. Bend your knees as much as you need to get your fingertips on the ground. Go more into the ball of the foot so the heels lightly lift. Maybe just enough, maybe just a centimetre so you feel you roll forward, yeah? Now let the heels go back down into the ground, let the spine fly up. Okay? Come back down again. You're going to do that once more. Lift up through the heels, spread you into the ball of the foot. Go down into the heels, come straight up with the spine. Okay, breathe out, fold. Good. Let the heels lift if they want to as you come down. Plant the heels, hands onto the shins and extend. Breathe out, release. Step back with the right foot. Right knee comes down, round the spine, bring the arms forward. Start going into that left foot a little bit more, up through the chest, up through the heart, down through the tail. Good. Hands come forward, you're coming back into dog. If you want to bring the leg up, let it come up rather than going into a rotation out, yeah? Let it come up. Bring the foot down to the ground, bend the knees, come back into child's pose. Breathing in and breathing out. Send the hands forward. Chest will want to go down towards the ground. So that's going to open the shoulders, yeah? Then you're going to begin to round the spine, and then the hands might want to come back a little bit then. Bring the spine forward. Up and forward through the breastbone. Curl the toes under, roll over the feet into dog pose, on the balls of the feet, yeah? Not high up on the toes, on the balls of the feet. Relax the knees. Up through here, yeah? Feel that movement up. Good, now bend the knees into all fours. Round the spine into cat pose. Come back into child's pose. Feel that length and broadness through the sacrum. And then release. Breathing in and breathing out. Come up into all fours. Come forward with the right foot. Curl the left toe under, go back through the heel and then up through the heel. Strong, firm in the front foot. Forward through the spine. Breathing in and breathing out. Bring the knee down. Round the spine. Up through the chest, up through the heart, down through the tail. Bring the hands forward. Come into forward bend, come up through the thigh, bring the foot down onto the ground. Hands onto the shin. Good, now breathe out, release down. Gently lift the heels, the tiniest little bit, and then go back into the heels, up through the spine, for you could lift the whole of the rib cage off the spine. Bring the hands together in Namaste. Come back with the left foot, let the right knee bend. Okay, so you're coming back a little bit further. There'll be a natural, very slight outturn of the back foot. That's absolutely perfect, yeah? You're going to lift the back heel and stand into the ball of the back foot. And then really plant the back heel into the ground. And go forward through the knee, but so the knee stays over the ankle. So there's that movement, that two-way movement of the legs. Breath comes in, up you come through the arms, keep the elbows nice and soft, keep going down through the tailbone, breathing in and breathing out. So all of this can relax now, because you've got strong support from the legs. The breastbone and the rib cage can lift up, yeah? Breathing in and breathing out. What we're not going to do is go for that push, yeah? What we're going to do is we're going to go down through the tailbone and then let that ripple up through the spine and open the shoulder blades. Now breathe out and fold forward. That way you lift the heart, yeah? Heart lifting, yeah? Breath comes in, up you come. We're going to do that again. So you go down firm into the front foot, firm into the back foot, up through the thighs, into the hips, into the pelvis. Tailbone releases down to the ground, yeah? So you've got that tail straight between the legs. Pelvis is then in a good position, tailbone, sacrum in that good position, up through the spine, breathe. It should feel harder work on the belly, and you lift. Some of you, it might find you takes your breath away. Breathe out, bring the spine forward. As long as you're not pushing in the lumbar, that's the most important thing. Lift the back heel, extend back into lunge pose. Yeah, firmness still in the feet. Think about the ball of the foot and the heel of the foot. Left hand onto the ground. You're going to draw your bow and arrow up with your right hand and go all the way up through the fingers. So your shoulder girdle's working like your seesaw again. Yep, they're working together. Think about going up through the arm because that's going to stop you pushing back, and then it just goes into the head and the neck, yeah? Breathing in and breathing out. Good, now bring the hand down to the ground, relax the knee, step back into dog pose, breathe. Good, now can you walk the feet forward to bring you into Uttanasana? Keep the lift up through the pelvis, yeah? Even if you have to keep the heels lifted to bring you up. Let the heels go down into the ground, come up through the spine. Breathe, bring the hands together in Namaste. Start thinking about how the feet are feeling on the ground. Hopefully they're feeling really, really connected in there. Step back with the right foot, up through the left knee, forward through the left knee. So you're thinking ankle and knee together. Breath comes in, up you come through the spine. Lift the back heel, go into the ball of the foot, and then root the heel back down into the ground. Yeah, so you feel like your feet are stuck in mud. Yeah, they're that rooted. Up through the breastbone, and even though you're thinking about going up and the tail's going down, that upward movement, again, woof, opens everything here. Come forward through the spine. Breathing in and breathing out. Good, now let the breath come in, firm into the feet, forward and forward and forward, up and up and up, down through the tailbone, up through the chest, up through the heart, yeah? So what we're avoiding is coming into this movement. Yeah, because that's just going to push us into the head and the neck as well. Now come forward again through the spine. Lift the back heel, go back through the legs, so you're coming into that lunge pose again. Right hand's on the ground. I'm going to come around and do it this way now so you can get an idea what I mean through the shoulders. Left hand comes up, yeah, and then the arm comes up. So we've gone into plane wings, yeah? The arms are working together. So rather than doing that and the arms have gone out of sync with each other, you're doing that and you're going up through the arm and broadening through the shoulder girdle. Equally, you could be here and bring the arm forward rather than push back. Bring the hand down onto the ground, come back into dog pose, breathing in and breathing out. Good, bend the knees, come back into child's pose, breathe. Good, you're going to come back up into all fours. If the kneecaps, because we've done a little bit on the kneecaps already, but if they're feeling a little bit sensitive, pop a cleat in the mat, yeah, and bring the knees on top of the cleat. So you've got a little bit more cushioning. If you feel, you know, they're a bit, we've all got different bone kneecaps, we've all got different sort of hip bones. There's some are bony, some not so much. Come forward with the right foot, so you're coming back into that low warrior pose. And then take a breath in and go out through the arms as you come up. So you're going outwards, out into the fingertips. Good. Right knees forward. You're going to come around with the arms, bring the left elbow on top of the right, bring the right hand into the left palm. Breathing in and breathing out. Now, I'd like you to think about the space in front of the breastbone. Is there space in front of the breastbone? What needs to happen so that you've got space here, yeah? So that as you come around, what we want to do is to go a little bit more forward through the arms, but rest into the back of the body, yeah? So more forward through the arms. So you've got space. You could fit your hand in between your arms or someone's hand and tickle your nose, basically. Now come forward with the spine. Really root into that front right foot. So you're going to stop the knee from winging out, yeah? So the shoulder, right shoulder and right knee will come together. Breathing in and breathing out. Unfurl the arms. And as you unfurl the arms, bring both of the hands to the inside of the right foot. Breathing in and breathing out. Bring the right hand around and behind the foot, yeah? So it's going to come from here and go from here. And then you're going to bring the breastbone forward, yeah? And you can use the back of the arm in the knee, yeah, in the calf, and it stops the knee from really closing and helps create a little bit more space in that front right hip. Come up, bring the hand out, knee and hip in line, go away through the heel. Relax the knee. To get more movement into the hamstring, flex the toes, yeah? Flex the toes. Flex the toes, okay? Don't need to overextend, flex the toes. Want to take it further? Lift the breastbone forward, yeah? Flex the toes, lift the breastbone forward. And then release it, yeah? Come down into a slump, yeah? Come down to nothing going on in the foot. Bring the breastbone forward, flex the toes, yeah? Breathing in, breathing out. Good. Now come forward through the foot again. Hands onto the ground to support you. Extend all the way back to the right leg. Big toe's going to stay on the ground. Breastbone's coming forward. Lower left leg comes out to the side. Tiniest little bit like a stabilizer on a bike. Left hand on the ground. Inside of the right foot down. Little toe side of the right foot down. Up you come through the arm. Again, you've got your plain wings and you're opening here. Breathing in, breathing out. Good. Breathe. Keep coming back to the breath. Come back and around into all fours, and then you're going to bring the right hand, right hand through the space on the left, yeah? Coming in and around, resting down. Now, if you can get on to rest onto the shoulder, fabulous. If that feels too much this morning, you come up through the arm. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. Now come up into all fours. From all fours, curl the toes under. Bring the bottom back, come over the knees, come into squat pose. Again, fingers can stay on the ground or they can lift up, yeah? Breathing in and breathing out. What I want you to avoid doing this morning is thinking, that's what I've got to do in the pose and create tension in the body by getting there. I want you to feel that you can kind of rest a bit into the pose today, yeah? Good. Now bring the fingertips down to the ground, come forward into all fours. Go forward with the left foot, yeah? Strong in the foot, out through the arms, so the spine comes up. Left foot's forward, right elbow goes on top of the left hand into the right palm and up through the fingertips, breathing in and breathing out. Now bring the spine forward. I'm going to show you what I mean about the knee. When we go forward, very often the knee wants to do that because it immediately goes, I've got to make space, yeah? So if we go into that big toe, into the little toe and really root it, it won't move, breathing in and breathing out. And then the shoulder and the knee can come together. Unfurl the arms. Bring the left hand behind. Yep, so the left hand goes from the inside, around and behind. From here, you can take the knee back a bit if you feel you want a little bit longer stretch, yeah? The back of the arm goes into the calf, it keeps the knee open, it creates space in the hip by bringing everything forward. Breathing in and breathing out. Unfurl the arms, yeah, bring it out, curl the back toes under, and go away through the heels so the knee and the hip are in line. That's only about as far as you want to go forward. And again, the stretch in the hamstring comes from flexing the toe and lifting the breastbone forward. Yeah? Flex the toe, lift the breastbone forward. Let it all collapse. Go Slumpasana. Yeah? And then flex the toe and bring the breastbone forward. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. Now you're going to go back into the foot. Use the whole of the hands to support you. Come up through the arms so you've got more space to bring the leg back and through. Onto the big toe, up through the heel. Lower right leg comes out. Into the little toe side of the left foot. Into the big toe side of the left foot. Up you come through the arm. Breathing in, breathing out. What are the glutes doing? If you're squeezing your glutes to be there, come back to how you're using the arm, come back to how you're using the foot. Breathing in and breathing out. Come around with the spine. Bring the left arm through the space on the right and rest down. Breathing in and breathing out. And then up you come, into all fours, curl the toes under. You're coming back into the squat pose now, okay? Focus on the balls of the feet. Bring the hands together in Namaste, come up through the crown of the head. Think about the tailbone going down, the breastbone coming up. It's that same instruction as Warrior One. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. Now you're going to come back down very lightly through the knees. Come up into all fours. Curl the toes under, bring the bottom back to the heels, up through the knees, down through the heels. Okay, we're going to come into Pigeon Pose now. I'm going to give you a couple of alternatives as well. So come up through the right leg, bring the right knee forward and place the knee between the hands. Go back through the left leg. Come down onto the lower arms, extend the breastbone forward. That's version 1. Version 2, if you don't want any weight through the lower body, is to practice it in reverse, yeah? Both the legs up, right knee bends, right ankle onto where the knee is finally, and up you come, okay? Another variation. This, yeah? So you sit, right angle, hands around. Okay, so you've got 3 variations there. We'll probably look at this in a bit more detail. Breathing in, breathing out. Now, if you're on your back, we will come up into dog pose from here. If you're on your back, stay on your back because we're going to change legs, yeah? Bring the hands back. And again, that same instruction, breastbone comes up, tailbone wants to release down. That's what gives you the movement in the pelvis to open the left hip flexor, breathing in and breathing out. But that little bit forward as well, so you don't crunch in the lumbar. Curl the toe under, bring the knee in, keep the toe curled under, come up and away through the leg. Bring the foot down. Left leg up, away into the foot, up through the heel, bring the knee forward, plant the knee between the hands, back through the right leg. Arms come down. Remember your alternatives, yeah? Come forward through the spine, breathing in and breathing out. Don't forget about the back foot in pigeon pose, yeah? How can you root the back foot into the ground? Go into the front of the foot, into the little toe, into the big toe. Breathing in and breathing out. Good, now bring the hands back. Lightness through the spine and up. Breathing in and breathing out. Curl the back toes under, come forward with the knee. Keep the toes curled under, up and away through the leg. Bring the foot down to the ground. Bend the knees. If you're on your back, stay there. Round the spine into cat pose. Come back into child's pose. So if you're lying on your back, bend your knees, bring your feet onto the ground, like so, and then come up like this and draw the thighs down, down, down into the hip sockets, yeah? Breathing in and breathing out. If you're on your back, bring the feet down, roll over onto the side, bring yourself up to sit. And if you're in child's pose, come up with the spine, breathing in and breathing out. Bring the bottom over to the right, bring the legs around. So we're all going to come into sit in Konasana. Yeah. Come back to that little wibble from the start, breathing in and breathing out. Come up through the arms, up through the arms, up through the shins, yeah, stroking them back. So this movement, yeah. And then come into the thighs, do the same. So you've got that real deep connection back, back, back into the hips, back into the thighs. Okay. From here now, bring your hands either side, lift your bottom if you can, and scoop it back and plant it down, and then come up again. So you've moved the pelvis a little bit more forward, yeah? In the sense that you're sitting more on the sitting bones. Come forward through the spine, breathing in and breathing out. And then come up. Go away through the legs now, bring them out. Doesn't need to be a wide bend, yeah? Oh, it can be here, yeah? Hands come either side. You're going to do the same again, okay? So here, see where the spine is, yeah? Hands, bend the knees, back and down. Now you see where the spine is, yeah? So that movement of coming forward is about where the pelvis is. Okay, bend the knees, hands onto the ground, back and back a little bit more. And then you come a little bit more forward, yeah? So it is about the positioning. I can still come up from here, yeah? I'm going to feel that I'm sitting right on the tops of the thighs. If you look at what you're wearing, and I would have said this before, most of you know me and know that this is, you know, something I say a lot. You've got the gusset of whatever you're wearing, tracksuit, bottom shorts, leggings, whatever they are. And you'll either have a diamond or a cross, and you're looking to get that to go down onto the ground. That demonstrates the pelvis, yeah? So you could do it again. Just take it off the knees, hands onto the ground, brings you back. You can keep the knees bent and come forward with the spine, breathing in and breathing out. Good, and then up you come. So we don't really like these postures to sit like this because we're not used to it, but that's how we should be doing it. Bring the feet in now. It should feel easier to sit like this. Bend the right knee, bring the arm under the leg, get some movement through the hip. And again, you might feel more of the thigh in the hip joint because of how you're sitting. Bring the right foot onto the ground. Let the left elbow come around, but move the spine to do that. Don't just sort of bring the elbow around. Move the whole of the spine so the elbow can come around. Try bringing the fingertips in towards the bottom, and then try bringing the fingertips out away from the bottom. See which one feels the most comfortable for you. Breathing in and breathing out. Back of that left heel onto the ground, because it roots you. You don't have to grip the thigh to be there. So we're going to do a cheeky little reverse Trigonasana now. You're going to take hold of the right big toe with the left hand, and you're going to go away through the leg, and then you're going to open it out through the arm, or you can keep the hand on the ground. Yeah? You took a picture, flipped it, you're in reverse Trigonasana. And you can feel that movement of the thigh back into the hip where it's bringing you through here. Bring the hand down, bring the knee down, go back and away through the leg. Let's do it on the other side. So the left leg comes in, and we'll do it around this way so you can see it from this angle. And you're bringing it in and out. Now, as I moved, I lost that sense of what's going on in the pelvis, in the sitting bone. So sometimes, you know, you do need to kind of readjust yourself. Yeah, it's okay. Because then you're being aware of what's going on in the body. Bring the foot down to the ground, okay? The whole of the shoulder girdle rotates. The right arm comes around the knee. The left hand comes around behind you. Play with the positioning of the fingers, because that's going to move the shoulder blade and the shoulder joint. So you might have a preference. Yeah, my preference at the moment for my shoulder is fingers towards the bottom. Yours might be the opposite. It's perfect. Yeah, breathing in and breathing out. Bring the right hand to hold the left big toe, go away through the leg. Now again, the leg doesn't need to be fully extended. Open out through the left arm. If you want to, or keep the hand on the ground, yeah? But you've got that rotation through the spine, which is Trigonasana, and the extensions of the legs, Trigonasana. To do this in standing is quite sort of full on, so it's a good way to do it. Come back to the center. Go away through the leg, yeah, come back up into sit, cross the legs over, close the eyes, bring the backs of the hands onto the knees. Now, before you get really settled in, if you want a jumper to put on for Shavasana, you want socks, make sure you've got them, make sure you're kind of in the middle of the mat so you could come straight to lie down without any disruption around you, yeah? Breathing in and breathing out. Bring the awareness to the nostrils. As you breathe in, can you breathe? And even if you feel you're not doing it, imagine it, yeah? Breathe in and up through the right nostril, out and down through the left nostril. In and up through the left nostril, out and down through the right nostril. In and up through the right nostril, out and down through left nostril. In and up through left nostril, out and down through right nostril. Come back to natural inhalation, exhalation. Give yourself a couple of rounds of normal breath. Make sure the belly is relaxed. Notice how the breath feels now. It might be a little slow, might be going a little bit deeper. So once more, in and up through the right nostril, out and down through the left. In and up through the left nostril, out and down through the right. In and up through the right, out and down through the left. In and up through the left, out and down through the right. In and up through the right, out and down through the left. In and up through the left, out and down through the right. Come back to natural inhalation, exhalation. Come back to the body. Notice how it feels for the legs to be on the ground, for the body to be sitting. Where is the spine? Can you come up through the spine, vertebra by vertebra, so the crown of the head extends up towards the heavens. Stay with the breath. You can stay sitting like this if you want to, but if not, come down into Shavasana. You might want to sit for a bit longer and then come into Shavasana. I'll leave it with you. In your Shavasana today, stay with the breath. If you're staying sitting, stay with the breath. Really bring that focus to the inhalation and the exhalation. So if the mind wanders off, you have an anchor to come back to. Yeah? Next part of the practice is going to be in silence. If you're still sitting, bring yourself to lie down now. Shavasana is the practice of corpse pose, the practice of lying in stillness. Often, corpse pose is uncomfortable, so we can bend the knees and bring the feet onto the ground to ease the lumbar. Shavasana is the time that the body needs and uses to take on the full effects of the practice. So it's a really important part of the class. You let the body rest, you let the mind rest. Before you let the eyes open or the body move, imagine the room around you. See the space you're in your mind's eye, but without opening your eyes. See yourself lying on your mat. And now gently begin to wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, and bring the awareness into the body. If the eyes feel they want to open, let them open. If they don't, keep them closed. When you're ready to, roll over onto your right side. Stay on your right side for a couple of moments, couple of cycles of breath here. And then bring the left hand down in front of the chest, lengthen away through the left leg, and gently bring yourself up to sit. And as you come to sit, bring the hands together in Namaste. Sit as is comfortable for you, but feel that you can sit with that sense of the pelvis on the ground so that the spine can lengthen upwards. Even if you find yourself based at a desk during the week, or there's a lot of sitting, if you're doing homeschooling, if you're sitting in a chair a lot, keep coming back to getting the pelvis on the chair rather than perhaps rolling onto the back of the spine to sit, yeah? So you can come up and you're supporting yourself, yeah? Bring the hands together in Namaste. Thank your body for its practice today. Have a lovely day. I hope the rain stops so you can get up to lots of nice things. And namaste.